guys, come on in. Welcome. This is such a good one today. We're going to talk about creating a vision and how to sell that vision, okay? This is such an important part of your job as a school leader. For those of you who are new to the empowered principal world, welcome. My name is Angela Kelly Robeck. I'm a former teacher, instructional coach, reading specialist, school principal, district administrator, turned certified life and leadership coach. I'm so happy you are here today. I'm so excited to share this topic with you guys. This was something I developed last year. It's been a huge success, a huge win for all of my clients, all 24 of them. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to just give you all the good stuff right here on this webinar, how to create a vision. And I have a very, very exciting announcement at the end of today's webinar. So you've got to stay on till the end to hear this special announcement. This is the first time I'm sharing this information with anybody. And I just want you to know that you are the first ones to hear it. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So welcome. As you're getting settled in, just want to check and make sure, can y'all hear me? I like to always check my, make sure you can see everything okay, hear everything okay. Let me know if you need me to adjust anything. You can give me a thumbs up, and we will dive right in. So as you're getting settled, first of all, I want to just say that you should have received a copy of creating your school vision prompts. These are just some questions that you're going to use. You're going to take away with you. You can use this to write notes, or you can use them at a later time. You can take notes separately. Feel free. This is just the agenda for the day, but you can use this to write down your notes as you're thinking, as thoughts come up for you. Okay. So I want to talk about how this came to be. So I work with a variety of school leaders. I work with public school leaders, private school leaders, charter school leaders, choice programs. I work with elementary, middle, and high school leaders. I work with veteran leaders who've been at this a while, and I work with brand new school leaders. So I work with a variety of leaders. I also work with district level leaders. Many of my clients have worked with me for several years now, and they've been promoted up into district level positions. So they continue to work with me because this coaching program works so beautifully for them. So how this came to be was that I was working with new school leaders. A lot of brand new leaders come into, my world around this time of year, between like March, April, May, when they're interviewing and getting hired. I teach them how to get hired, and then they land the job. And then they're freaking out. What do I do? They had no clue. They knew they needed to have a vision, right? It's a part of your educational process when you get your degree in administration that you need to have a vision and communicate that vision. But how do you do that, right? So new school leaders were struggling with the how, and returning school leaders, people who've been doing this for a while, they either felt that their vision was really not non-existent, or it was kind of ambiguous, or it felt intangible. It just felt like it was a bunch of language, and it was really difficult to implement and to get everybody going in the same direction on the same boat, right? So what people were asking for was they wanted to know, how do I create and implement a school vision that's not just on paper, but that's actually being lived? It's set into motion. And when I was asking people, well, what's happening for you now? They're like, I understand I need a vision, but it just felt like a vague statement that no one on campus really believed or really followed as a guide. It was just kind of out there as a separate entity from the school. Okay. So this workshop today, it's for you. If you're either a first year leader and you don't have an idea of where to get started, you don't have a clear, concise vision for your school, we got you covered. If you're newer leaders who have sites, you know kind of what you want, but you want to clarify that, or you're not quite sure how to do it, got you in the right place. If you're a returning leader who's feeling disconnected from your school vision and is not sure how to use it as a guide to bring it to life, but it's really for any school leader who wants to feel in alignment with that vision between your purpose, your goals, your decisions, and your actions, and you want to feel aligned. in who you are as a leader and where you're taking yourself and your school. Okay. And I want you to know, I have been in your shoes. I too was a brand new school leader. I got hired as a brand new school leader for a brand new school. So I was a new leader, no clue what I was doing, opening a new school. It was insane. So I've been there. I know how overwhelming that feels, and you feel lost. I've personally done this, but here's what I can promise you. I've learned through my own experience and as a coach for school leaders how to create alignment that feels true for you and your school, how to create clarity so you know exactly what you're deciding and why you're deciding and the lens through which you're making decisions. I know how to teach constraint and focus because you can't fix everything at once. You're not going to be able to implement every aspect of a vision right here, right now, all at one time. And I know how to keep you making progress. This is a progressive program. You're making progress versus just being busy and being productive and checking off the to-do box, right? So you're actually getting the results you came out to get. I've helped dozens upon dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of people. And I've taught this multiple times and it works every single time. Okay. So here's what you're going to gain. Here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about what a vision actually is. Not what it is in theory, not the lingo jingo where you're talking about like, I don't know. I posted some of this on social media and I was asking people, what's the purpose of a vision? And there's lots of language, like flowery language around it. But what is it really? What is the purpose of it? How does it help you lead? How does it make you more valuable as a school principal? I'm going to teach you a really clear process, the benefits of having a vision, what's in it for you, what's in it for kids, staff, students, community, why you want to sell your brain on why you're going to get to work and create this vision and implement it. I'm going to teach you a clear process, but then also those pitfalls. I call it pitfall planning, where we decide obstacles ahead of time, what might be getting in our way of making this vision a reality, and how can we anticipate those and solve for them in advance? Because there will always be unanticipated obstacles that come up. You're not going to be able to catch everything in advance. That's not the point. The point is, let's be creative about what might come up for us. How might we solve for that so that we have time and space to implement those and to tackle those unanticipated obstacles. Okay. I want to tell you why this is different. You've been taught that a school vision is important. I remember I was a leader in the state of California. This is where I live. And we had like the 6 professional standards for school administrators. And one of them was like creating and sharing and communicating a clear vision. We understand that, but we want to create a tangible, living vision that we're embodying and we're being the people, the person, the teachers, the students who embody this vision, who are living the vision. And we're not going to attempt to do it all. We're not fixing everything, changing everything. The point of a vision is that we are always striving towards that vision. Okay. Not everybody needs to be 100% on board at your school. So what your brain's going to offer you is like, okay, I have this great vision. I've got some teachers who are on board, but there's always somebody who's not on board. It doesn't have to be an obstacle in your way. You're going to focus on the people who do. Okay. Not everybody needs to be 100% on board. So don't make that an obstacle for yourself. Doesn't have to be. Okay. Not focusing on what isn't working. We're not going to sit and make a laundry list of here's all the things that is terrible about my school. We're not going to do that. And we're not going to go in and fix everything. We're going to actually find that not everything needs fixing. Okay. I'm going to be a little more hands-off than you might think you have to be. We're going to be able to make decisions clearly and swiftly. One of the worst things we can do for a vision is to stagnate it or stall it. And the way that we do that is by staying in indecision, by not making decisions because we're worried about making the right decision or what people will think about the decision, or we're not sure what the result of that decision is going to be. We learn how to make decisions swiftly and quickly because that is progressive. That's what keeps the vision alive and moving forward. Okay. Your commitment to prioritizing and decision-making is essential. And it's typically the one pitfall that falls into place. We think that we want to make the right decision. I'm going to say it's better to just make a decision. And then as you gain more information moving forward, you adjust that decision, or you might change that decision altogether, but you can't know the outcome until you make the decision. Okay. And then we talk about the meter of success. The meter of success is built into the vision. Like, what do we measure? How do we know we're going to be successful? What do we measure that shows us we're making progress? How do we measure it? Why do we measure it? What to do with that information measured? We have to have some way, some set of milestones or some set of metrics to understand who we are, where we're going, and are we on track or are we not on track? So just to let you know, this training is going to last. I'm going to try to keep it to about, it's already a little after 4. We're going to try and keep it to 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. Jot your questions down. If you have a burning question, you can put it in the Q&A or raise your hand, and I will get to you as soon as possible. And for those of you who are interested in learning more about how to work directly with me or who have questions, and as I said, I have something very, very exciting to announce. So you got to stay on till the end. I'm just not to worry. I'm going to answer all of those at the end. So you're going to get what you came for today. And for those of you who want to stay on and learn more about how to work with me directly for the upcoming year, I'm going to announce a new offering that I have ready for you guys for next year. Okay. Now, just set an intention and make a decision by the end of this webinar, what one action you're going to implement as a result of being here today. Because I want this to be an extremely valuable, tangible use of your time. Okay. So share in the Q&A with us. Like, by the end of this, I want to make this decision or take this one action. Okay. All right, let's dive in. So for those of you who are brand new, especially, and even for some of you who are relatively new, or maybe you're a veteran, you might be thinking the thought, I don't know a school vision. I don't really have a school vision. I'm not sure. I'm a little unsure. I want to offer that you do have a school vision. It's why you got into education in the first place. And it's why you're in the position right now. And if you're brand new and you just got hired, you do have a school vision. I don't want you to lie to yourself and kind of talk yourself out of not having a school vision or thinking that it's hard or complicated or you don't have one. I promise you, if you were to ask yourself, what is your idea? What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs about what you think makes a great school? You will have an opinion. You've been a teacher. You already know. You have experience. You know what education's like. You know what it's like to be a student. You know what it's like to be a teacher. And now you're going to be a principal, or maybe you already are. And you want to have a vision for your, not just for your school, but for yourself, your career, right? That's why I offer a life and leadership legacy program. I'm within the Empowered Principal program because you're one person. You got to have a vision for your career and your life and your school vision. Okay. But being new is irrelevant. Don't sell yourself on the idea that because you're new, you don't have a vision. You actually do. You have experience. Okay. Also, I want to say something. This is what came up for me. So I just want to address it directly. I used to think when I was new that my vision wasn't my district's vision. Therefore, it was in conflict or it couldn't align. What I've learned, number one, is you don't have to fully agree with your district's approach. You can have a vision that looks a little bit different. And here's how you do that. You want to understand the result that their vision is trying to create, because once you understand that, you'll see that every single time you actually want the same thing. So your vision of how it might look or feel might be different than the district's how, but the end result's the same. So you can get on board with the district's vision that they have for themselves when you understand what result they're trying to create, because you're on the same team and you want the same result. So once you understand that, you're going to be able to sell yourself and other people on those results. Because what do we want at the end of the day? We all want to help kids evolve and become the best versions of themselves. We want to support teachers in becoming the best versions of themselves. And we want to have an amazing experience. We want kids to thrive, teachers to thrive, our families and communities to thrive, and for us to thrive. That's really what we want. And the how, we get caught up in the how, and we think that the visions are about the how. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So what is a school vision? A school vision, in my definition, and I invite you to consider this, is that it's a bridge. It's an approach that you believe will create your desired outcomes. So your school vision, what you visualize for your school, is basically that vision is the bridge. It's the gap from where your school is right now. Here's its strengths, here's its areas of growth, and the vision is the bridge that gaps between where you're at now and where you want to be. So the vision is the desired result you are working to create. It's also the experience you want people to have along that journey and along that bridge. It's how you want people to think and feel as a result of being a member of your school. Okay. It's the way you want to conduct business at your site. It's a roadmap, right? There are several ways to get there. You're just going to simply pick one. What direction you believe, what vision you believe is going to get your school there the fastest and the easiest. Why make it complicated and hard? Okay. So I really want you to identify what the purpose of a school vision, what it actually is. I think a lot of times we think it's words on paper or it's a mission statement. There's a lot of language that we use around vision, but the way I see it is that it's bridging you from where your school is at, how it functions, the approach you use, the way people feel, the way people think, the way people engage, the processes you use, all of it, the way you function right now, and your vision is how you want it to be functioning. And this is where you outline, this is how we want to be thinking and feeling as teachers. This is how we want students to be thinking and feeling about themselves, about school, about their capacity to learn, about their willingness to fail, and all of that. And it also about yourself. Where am I as a leader? Where do I want to be? Where are my teachers now? Where do I aspire for them to be? Where do they aspire for themselves to be? Where are students now? What do we want them thinking and believing about themselves and their capacity to do amazing things in their lives and to contribute and to learn? Okay, so get very clear on what a vision is, and it's not scary. It's not some big, difficult, complicated, scary thing. It's simply, what do I think it would take to bridge the gap from where we're at to where we need to be? Okay. Now, there are a couple of challenges when it comes to creating vision. Challenge number one is not having a distinct or focused vision. So when you're new, you don't know what you don't know. You might not be sure where you're at and where you want to go, because you can't know the how when you haven't done it before. So that's going to require you to be new, which is one of the trainings I've done in this spring training leadership series for Power Principles. It's learn how to be new. Sometimes you just have to dive in and swim around and figure it out. And it feels very challenging. So you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what they need. You might not. That's okay. Another reason that we get caught up in not having something very clear, simple, easy, and doable is that we're afraid to do it wrong. We're afraid to choose the wrong focus. What about this? Conflicting priorities. It's very difficult, right? When you do have conflicting priorities and there's so many fires that you want to put out all at once, it's also very difficult to articulate the nebulous to getting very specific. So sometimes in a vision, we think we have to cover all of our bases and write this big essay or something where we've got all the bases covered. And it goes very nebulous, right? It gets very high, kind of pie in the sky language. And that can be challenging because then it's not relatable or doable, implementable, right? And so what leaders have been taught to do is you're taught to use vernacular, right? Educational vernacular, buzzwords, create a vision with all your stakeholders, spend a lot of time getting input, those kinds of things, and then posting it everywhere so that it's visible. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. It's nothing wrong to use the vernacular and to include your stakeholders. I would highly encourage you to do that. But sometimes we spin out in that at the, like, thinking I need to talk to every single human on the planet before I can create this vision. We make it an obstacle for ourselves. And then we think posting it everywhere equals the action required to implement the vision. But here's what we're not taught how to do. We're not taught how to develop a vision that guides our school focus and our culture. We're not taught to create a vision that's tangible and livable, doable. And we find it challenging to measure. We haven't really been taught how to measure that progress towards the vision, right? So here's the solution. The simplest solution is let's just develop a vision that's tangible and livable. And how do we do that? Okay, here's the process. Are you ready? I'm going actually really fast. Get so excited about this stuff, but I can't wait to share my announcement with you. Okay, so here's the process. Are you ready? These are prompts to get your mindset in gear. Here's the process. 3 steps. And write them down. Number 1, create. You're going to create your vision through the lens of your leadership values. Okay? Create your vision through your leadership value lens. What I mean by that is you're going to identify what you most value. So you're assessing where you're at now, and you're understanding, like, what do I value most as a leader? And is it connection? Is it accountability? Is it success, achievement? Like, you want to make a list of what are my values, and how do I make decisions right now as a leader? And how do I want to be making decisions? And you create this vision through your leadership values, because you will not follow and implement a vision if it's not aligned to your values. It just won't happen. It has to feel true for you. It has to feel aligned for you. So you're going to create that vision through your leadership values, okay? And then step 2 is to assess. Assess where the school is now and where you want it to be. So create and then assess, and you get to decide what that assessment looks like. You have to, what's working, what's not, what do I want to do? What do we want to do differently in the current state? And then where are we headed? And what does that look like? How will I know that we're on track? How will I know we've arrived at this vision, that we're living and breathing the vision? Okay, that's step 2. Step 3 is determine. You need to determine a theory that you think is going to bridge the gap and create a plan for that gap. So here you are, here's where you're at, here's where you want to be. You are going to just come up with a theory. Here's the secret. There isn't a wrong theory. You just look at your school, you assess it, and you make a decision. This is what I think is going to get us from A to B. It might work, it might not, but you're going to make your best guess. And then you make that decision and you commit to it for a minimum of 90 days. For the next 3 months, I am going to make all my decisions through this lens, and we're going to work for 90 days on this priority, and we're going to see, did it work? Did it not? Did it partially work? What worked? What didn't? Where do we need to adjust? And you keep going from there towards the vision. It's really that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Create, assess, determine. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of this simplicity? Why would a vision, a school vision, how could it be that simple? Simplicity is what breeds success. It brings clarity, focus. People understand it. When you go through this process, and in the Empowered Principal program, I will take you step by step through all of the details of this and how exactly you create, assess, and determine. But it becomes this so easy, so clear, simple, tangible, livable vision that allows you to be very concrete in your communication, in your expectations of your teachers and your students and your families, and it helps you determine the approach. So it clears out the clutter. It's like, this is what we're doing. This is my vision. You can create a year-long vision for your school. By the end of the year, I want my school to be here, but we're going to break it up into 90-day chunks. And the reason we do that is because your brain needs to have it broken down into something manageable. And the brain's like, I can do 3 months. I can handle that. I can think out 3 months in advance. So it helps you know what to measure and how to measure it. Because when you think about what it is that you want for your school, if you were just to put it out there and say, here's what I want for my school. Here's how I want my school to function. These are the results I want my school to create. You're also thinking about how it will feel. So a lot of our school vision is, how does my school feel? What is the experience I'm having as the leader? What is the experience parents are having, students are having, teachers are having, your support staff is having? What is the experience of every human on this campus? When we create a vision, the vision we're creating, we want to create the results. Yes, that's true. But the reason we want to create those results is based on how we think we will feel as school leaders, how we think teachers will feel as teachers, how we think students will feel about themselves when our school is functioning in the visionary way we think it should. And the way to get here is to embody that version of ourselves right now. There's nothing preventing us from stepping in and being the version of ourselves as school leaders. That what is different about here than here? You want to get clear with yourself about that. Who would I have to be to lead a school like this? And how can I embody that right now? So it gives you milestones to celebrate, and it keeps you on track as the leader. Because you can't fail if you have a vision you don't quit on. If this is where you want to be and you're like, who do I have to be to create that result? I can show up as that version of me right now. I can be confident right now. I can find things I'm good at right now. I can find what's working right now. I can love on people. When you think about what this feels like, we're thinking oh, it feels so amazing. Kids are succeeding. Teachers are happy. I'm happy. Kids are happy. We're trying to create a culture where we support and honor one another academically, emotionally, physically, psychologically, mentally, all of that, right? And the benefits of doing this work is your job becomes so much easier because number one, the vision is clear. It's easier to articulate that vision to others, and people are more likely to understand the vision and its values. Because you've got to be sold on your vision in order to sell it to other people, which is challenge number 2. So challenge number 2 is, how do you get people on board? Challenge number 1 is creating that clear vision. You make it as simple as possible based on how you think you'll feel, how you want others to feel, the experience you want them to have. And when you get that captured in your mind and you get very clear on what you think that will result in, now it's like, okay, I'm sold on my vision, but I've got to sell to people. So challenge number 2 is getting people on board, getting buy-in, as people will say, right? This is why it's a challenge. It's hard to get people on board when the vision isn't clear, when it's not clearly articulated, when it's obscure or it's not visible to them in their mind, they can't envision it. It's hard to be on board with something you can't envision. It's hard to be on board with something you don't understand. It's hard to be on board when something is not tangible or relatable, when it's all fluffy. That's why I talk about the language of it. It's also difficult to get buy-in or to be a person who's buying in when it's not implemented on the daily, when it's not a part of the school culture. So vision is really about the culture and the way we do business, right? A lot of times what I have, my own experience and what I've coached people on is they'll say, well, teachers just aren't buying in. And the question is why? And the answer to that question is they don't see the value in the vision for them. When you're a school leader and you're leading other adults, they need to understand what's in this for me. Why should I buy into this vision? Where do I fit into the vision? How does this vision create success for me as an educator, as a teacher? How does it create success for me and my students? People need to know what's in it for them in order to create buy-in. Okay. So what we've been taught to do is we kind of use our vision as posters around the school, or we maybe repeat it regularly, put it into newsletters, we put it into our site improvement plan. Like we try to instill the vision, but we're still doing it at a very paper level, I would call it. Like we're printing it instead of living it. And what we're not taught to do is we're not taught to develop a vision that people can believe in and relate to, or how to communicate it so that people can really, really, truly buy in. Like they want to understand it. They do understand it. They see the value in it for themselves. Because once they see that, they're on board. And once we can like make it simple, tangible, measurable, that becomes more fun to implement, easier to implement. And we also have to keep in mind that our vision is always going to be ever evolving, because you're going to get from here to here. And then guess what? You're going to want to go from here to here. You're going to want to go from like nice to good, good to great, great to excellent, excellent to extraordinary. Like you will always be evolving your vision, and that's fun. So what's the solution to this challenge? We got to successfully sell the vision to your staff, students, and school community. So how do we do that? So I'm going to talk about the concept of selling. It's going to sound kind of uncomfortable or strange in our field or our work as school leaders, but I want you to consider we're not selling like in a slimy, salesy kind of way. We're not a car salesperson trying to manipulate into selling you a lemon, or we're not selling people on what they don't want or what doesn't serve them. We're selling them a vision that they want, that they have, that they're in alignment to, that works for them, that makes their jobs easier, their lives better, their results faster. The vision isn't just for you, it's for them. They want a principal who has a clear and tangible vision. They want a person who wants to lead them, who has a vision. They want you to have that. They're like, lead us. We're out here teaching. We need you to lead. We want you to lead. They want a vision that makes life and work easier for them. And we have to acknowledge that. We want that for ourselves, right? We want to stop overworking, overexerting, overscheduling. And they want the same thing we want. So we have to create our vision in a way that makes us on the same team. That's a win-win. What's in it for you? What's in it for students? What's in it for them? What's in it for the district? How is it the same thing? We all want a thriving, successful school that's a wonderful place to work, and they want to believe that your vision is possible. So not only do they want what you want, they want to also believe in it so desperately. And that's what selling your vision is. It's helping the people you lead see that the experience they want to have as a teacher or a student or a family member or a community member or district member, that it's possible. We have to be that inspiration. We have to be the example of what is possible through our vision. And they have to be able to feel that vision viscerally. So when you're visualizing what this school feels like, where you want to be, and you're feeling how amazing it is to show up on that campus and the version of you that shows up, your teachers need to be able to embody that feeling viscerally. And our job is to paint this vision so clearly, so viscerally that they can actually feel the vibration of what it will feel like to be there. That's how you get people to get buy-in. So when you're creating and selling your compelling vision, there are 3 things you need to keep in mind. You've got to sell yourself. You've got to be fully sold. This is the best vision for my school. This is the best process. This is my theory. I think it's the best next step. You have to be 100% sold on your vision in order to be able to sell it to others. So you've got to trust and believe in yourself. You've got to sell yourself. You've got to be able to sell other people on it. And you've got to believe in the process that you're choosing, whatever theory you're creating for your school. Because if I brought 100 people on here and I asked you each individually, what's the one thing your school needs right now? You'd be able to answer it. You're like, well, if I had to pick one, we need to focus on this. So you do know in your gut at the end of the day, if push comes to shove, you do know what's the one next step. And that's all you need to create a vision. You don't have to map out 10, 20, 30 years down the road. You can, but it overwhelms you. So bring it down to what's the one next step. Trust yourself, trust others, trust the process, and you'll be able to sell yourself by believing in your vision, in other people's ability to get on board with that vision, and in the process you have decided on. Okay. So here's how you sell your school vision. Another 3 steps. Step number 1, coaching. You have to be 100% able to coach yourself on your thoughts and emotions and any obstacles that come up with your vision. You have to trust and be sold yourself on that vision. Okay. So there's coaching is required for that, because there are going to be days where you're here and you want to get to here and you're halfway through the bridge and it starts to shake or waver and you want to run backwards, or you don't think it's working, or you want to blow the whole thing up and start from scratch. Right? You've got to trust that that bridge that you decided on, it's the right bridge. It's a strong bridge. Even when it shakes, it's unwavering and it will get you to the other side. Okay. Got to be 100% sold. So number 1, you got to coach yourself on when things aren't going well as when things are going well and what you're making that mean. Step number 2, advertise. You're going to have to advertise your vision. You cannot sell a vision and you cannot create buy-in if you're not speaking about it. When I say advertise, I'm simply saying, share the vision. Don't be shy. Let people know. Here's the vision. Here's the process. You sell it, your vision, through the value that it has for others. You advertise the vision. Here's what's in it for you, teachers. Here's what you glean. Here's what you gain. Here are the benefits when you get on board with this. This is why this is a win-win. Works for me, works for you, works for kids. Okay. You got to advertise. You have to talk about it. You have to sell it. You have to be on board with it. They have to see what's in it for them. So you've got to advertise. Here's what's in it for you. Be explicit about that. And then step 3 is define. Define how the process helps them achieve their desired results. So many times as school leaders, we're trying to sell teachers on what's in it for them to do the work so that we achieve our results that we want. They might not want that. Now they do actually. They want kids to be successful. They'll feel successful when their students do. But there are times where we want it done our way and they want it done their way. We want to show them how this vision gives enough space to allow both of us to get to that desired result. Okay. So coaching, number 1, 2, advertise, 3, define. I want you to notice I did this on purpose. It's CAD for both of them, just to help you remember. It's CAD. All right. Create. I can't even remember right now because I'm so busy talking. Oh yeah. Create, assess, determine when you're creating your vision. And then when you're selling the vision, it's coaching, advertising, defining. Okay. And write those down. So the process. How do I do this? You're going to have days where you doubt, developed your vision, you came up with a theory, you've got the one next step going, and you will have days when you doubt if that vision is truly possible. Teachers are going to be whining and complaining. Kids are not going to be acting like they should be. Your district's changing priorities every 5 minutes. Doubt's going to creep in, and that commitment to your vision will waver. That's totally normal. That's a part of this process. That's a part of the experience you're going to have on the bridge, right? It's going to shake some days. Your job as the leader is to remind yourself, to stabilize yourself, why you decided on this vision. Why did I make this decision? Why did I think it was the next best step? And resell yourself. You've got to remind yourself. The brain's going to want to go off course. It's going to want to tell you it's not working. Try something new and different. Shiny new object syndrome. The district's changing. I have to like blow up my vision. Remind yourself, realign back to your leadership values. This is what I decided. This is why. Do I love my reasons? Yes. It's not to say you can never change your mind. It's to make sure you recommit and redecide. This is what I decided. Do I still love that decision? Yes or no? Do I love the reasons behind that decision? Yes or no? Do I want to change it? That's fine, but love your reasons and then stick to it for a minimum of 90 days. Because what happens is the minute it starts to waver, we change. And then what we're doing is just we're resetting and we're going back to square one. And we just keep going back to square one. We never get fully across the bridge. We get a third of the way and we go back. We get halfway, we go back. Okay. So it's normal, but you want to remind yourself, your vision isn't only to keep you motivated. Like when you think about your vision, you're feeling really good about it. That's an amazing part of your journey, but it's so much bigger than that. It's about the people you lead, the people you serve, your clients who are your staff and students. Those are your clients. They came and they need to get what they came for. So this vision isn't just for you to feel great about yourself as a school leader. As much as I love you and I want you to have that, this is also their vision. Being a leader, being a thought leader, being a pioneer as a leader is you being able to hold space for their visions and defining it and making it crystal clear for them. So that teachers go from, I'm not really sure what I want to create or who I want to be as a teacher, to knowing. You help them by modeling it. You're not leading them just to fill up your ego and add it to your resume. You're leading them because you want them to accomplish their career dreams and goals and to have the life that they want as teachers. It's so much bigger. You want parents to trust and love your school and to send their children. They want to feel good about the school they're sending their kids to. You want students to learn what they need to learn, to have fabulous lives and contribute to the world in the way that ignites their soul and their spirit. You want teachers who love where they're at, where they work, who they work with, what they do, and enjoy their careers, making the difference in the world that they set out to make. When you embrace this process, it's so much bigger and it's so much more, what's the energy that comes up, right? It's so much more fulfilling when you see that this work isn't just about your career. It's about helping others with their career, future careers as students and current careers as staff. Okay. So you got to coach yourself through all that and get yourself into that energy. Now, what's the process for advertising? People can't know about your vision unless you live and breathe it yourself. You have to talk about it all the time. Tell it to everyone. The more you love it, the easier it is to talk about. You've got to make your vision who you are as a leader. The vision is becoming and embodying that. Okay. So focus on how the vision makes your staff's life better, easier, and helps them achieve their own vision. So when you empower them and when you inspire them by being the version of you that you want to be, you inspire them, they become the version that they want to be. That's how kids get the best of all of you. Okay. And then you have to define. This step is the difference between school leaders who have buy-in and school leaders who do not. The vision is not about you or the district. It's about the people who are rolling out the vision on the everyday boots on the ground running, okay? In the classrooms, teaching the thing, teachers, the paras, office staff, everybody, custodian, all the people out there lunch, providers, all of them. They need to see what's in it for them. What's in it for them as a custodian, as a support staff, as a paraprofessional, as a bus driver, as an office staff member. They have to see how that vision benefits them. And for you to create that buy-in, you've got to understand yourself how the vision supports their vision. That's the missing piece, okay? But the result of doing this work is that you have a vision you can use because there's a clear process. You love it because it's so easy to create buy-in. Buy-in is no longer a problem because you're always thinking about, here's what's in it for you. This is why this is so amazing. And people love it because they see the value in it for themselves, okay? So the benefits for you is you're going to have a leadership focus. You're going to be so much less overwhelmed when you make decisions from clarity and through the lens of this one next step. Your team is going to understand exactly what to do to achieve the vision because you will clearly articulate it to them. And your students and staff are going to benefit because you're showing them how to leave behind a successful leadership legacy for them to become the leaders of their lives and their careers and their lives as students. Okay. So I'm going to talk about a couple pitfalls I want you to avoid just to make sure that you stay on track. We want to make sure that when pitfalls come up, we have planned for them. So here are a few that I have found along the way. Okay. So pitfall number one is a complicated vision. The best vision is very simple, clear, and manageable. It's easy. It's short and sweet to the point. So when you're articulating that vision, you want to avoid being overly wordy, overly complicated, or unfocused. Less is best. Think about how you want to feel. How do you want students to feel, staff to feel, you to feel, parents to feel? How do you want people to feel? And what would be happening at your school if people felt that way? That's how you want to generate your vision, okay? Pitfall number two, trying to fix all the problems at once. This is called whack-a-mole. We try to go in and we're like, solve this problem, put out this fire, whack, 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 whack. What it does is it just exhausts us, number one, and two, you're just all over the place and you have no vision. You're just getting up and surviving through the day. So we have to stay focused. We've got to choose one area at a time that you're going to believe will yield you the best results for your school. You can always focus on another area for next year or next semester. I like to break it up, have a 1-year plan for your school year, but then break it down into 90-day chunks. And many problems can also resolve themselves when you're not out thinking that you have to be the one to solve all the problems and play whack-a-mole every single day. A lot of those problems actually get solved on their own, or somebody else figures it out, or it really was never a problem when you stop trying to put out fires. And sometimes we try to spend our day putting out fires in the attempt to, well, we're worried about what people will think of us. And it's also almost a way of distracting ourselves or buffering from this work. Because we're like, oh, well, I don't know how to create a school vision. That's going to be really hard. That's going to take a lot of time. It actually doesn't, but our brain is going to tell us that it's hard and it wants to avoid this work. So we just go out and play whack-a-mole. Another pitfall to avoid, not focusing on the value of your vision. Focusing on the to-do list, the action items, trying to control people. Teachers, you need to teach it this way, or you need to behave this way, or you need to think in this way. Focus on the value of the vision. People are motivated by what's in it for them. You've got to give that to them. You want to give that to them. You want them to want to buy into that vision, because not doing this is going to result in far less people buying in. That's when you're going to get frustrated. How do I create buy-in? What's in it for them? And the commitment will fade. Your staff will fade when people don't see the value. They're like, wait a minute, I've lost the vision. Why am I even here today? What is the purpose here? What are we doing? They've lost the vision. They've got to get back into the embodiment of that vision. Okay. Another pitfall, not measuring or celebrating. What is the point of everything we do at school if we're not going to measure the progress? That's what makes working towards a goal fun. What's the point of hitting all these milestones and achieving goals if you're not going to take time to acknowledge it, to cherish it, to celebrate it? That's why we do this work. You have to celebrate the wins. I was a person who I did not see the value in celebrating. I was just so accomplish driven. I would get to the goal next, get to the goal, what's next? I didn't just embrace the milestones, celebrate the small wins, celebrate the big wins. It just felt like celebration was so fluffy and that I should always be accomplishing. But what's the point of it all if you're not celebrating the win, celebrating the accomplishment, the achievement? I see this happen because we're so busy and being productive versus being progressive that we fail to celebrate. And when we don't include fun and celebration and wins into our vision, people aren't interested because it's not fun for them. You're not acknowledging them. You're not celebrating them. You're not acknowledging their wins and accomplishments and goals. If you're just blowing past them, that has to be a part of the plan. So, in summary, not having a distinct and focused vision is challenge number one. It's creating the vision. So what do? You create, assess, and determine, but you create it through your leadership values so that you're attached to it. It has to make sense and it has to be purpose-driven for you. You assess where are we at and where we want to be, and then you just pick a theory and run with it. And I think step 3 is the hardest because we're afraid to pick it because we're afraid it's going to be the wrong thing. You can't know until you try it. You don't know if it's wrong until you do it and give it some time to take hold and to see if it actually works. Okay. Challenge number 2 is getting people on board with the vision. The process for that is coaching yourself, advertising and speaking very highly of it, and speaking of what's in it for other people. Define the value in it for them. Because you know what's in it for you, but what's in it for them? That's how you get people on board with any idea you're trying to sell. Okay. But think about the compounded benefits of this process. You get to enjoy your job. Teachers get to feel on track. Students make progress. Parents feel connected to the school. District's happy. It's a win, 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 win. Parents, teachers, community, staff, students, you, district, happy, happy, win, win. Okay. You accomplish more because you're planned, you're focused, and you're leading from a calm, confident state. And then you're going to fulfill your obligations as a school leader while working less hours, less time. Staying constrained to one goal, one vision, not trying to do it all, fix it all, it makes you be more efficient. You get more done in less time. You cross that. Okay, here's one theory. I'm going to cross that bridge and get to here. And then I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to create another theory. That's how you get to the bigger ones. One small bridge at a time, one small vision at a time. Maybe 1 year you're going to work on special education and inclusion. Maybe a second year you're going to work on coming up with a response to behavior plan. I know at my school we did like a response to intervention. We did a response to behavior. We had tiered levels of behavior management options. And obviously tier 1 classroom, tier 2 was working with instructional coach or with me. And then tier 3 was like serious offenses, right? So we triaged them. We spent a year doing that. 1 year was special ed, another year might be behavior, one might be school culture, one might be academics. You get to pick, but you can only get pick one because one less is best. Okay. You're going to make very clear decisions when you're only looking through one filter. You're not looking through 10 filters trying to make decisions. You're going to enjoy the school leadership experience. It's going to be more pleasurable, more enjoyable, more sustainable. Okay. And you become more valuable as a leader to your district, which means you create more impact, influence, and legacy for you in your career. Okay. So before I take questions, I want to highlight that there's one more problem with school visions. Okay. Once you have a vision and you're able to sell the vision, You have to consistently implement it each and every day. You have to live it. So it's one thing to develop it, and it's another thing to sell it, but it's another thing to have to commit and embody it and see it all the way through and not quit in the middle of the bridge, even when you get sidetracked. That's the hard part, is staying the course. And the Empowered Principal Coaching Program is how you're going to stay on track and follow through, even when it feels like the bridge is shaky. But when those hiccups come and unanticipated obstacles arise, you can continue moving forward and staying progressive in your approach. Okay? It's going to allow you to coach you through and help you through those times when it's difficult without making it mean I'm not a good leader, or I'm not doing it right, or the plan's not working, or I need to reboot and start all over. So coaching is what makes this vision successful. You can self-coach, but the success is compounded when you have coaching. And I'm going to talk about the coaching program. Okay. So for those of you who want to learn more, stay on. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions really quick, but this is my exciting announcement. I am thrilled to be announcing this. I have decided to launch a second offer. So my one and only offer for the last 3 years has been exclusively one-on-one private coaching, very high end, very high touch, very high tailored, very customizable for the client who wants to have that high level of support. And my clients have been 100% successful because I have curated this program to make it super customizable. So for if you're that kind of person, I still have that offer. I offer one-on-one coaching for clients who want a private, personalized, high-touch coaching experience. But I am now going to offer, starting this coming school year, the Empowered Principal Collaborative, which is my group coaching program. So through weekly calls, I'm going to have a weekly call as a group, and we're going to solve problems in real time together. This is a collaborative. It's a more immersive experience with other school leaders who think like you, who want the same things you want, who want to create the results you want. We are going to coach on the energy behind those actions. We're going to solve problems in real time. Because you can go through the motions of this plan. You can create a school plan and you can sell it to people and you can go through the motions, but not have it achieve the results you want. But the collaborative is going to help you talk about your school vision, talk about what's working and what's not, and where you want to go differently. Talk about how to get people on board. Talk about those obstacles and struggles that you're having. Okay. So the Empowered Principal Collaborative is my group program that's going to be running for the entire next school year. And it's going to offer most of what the one-on-one offers. You're going to get all the same tools. You're still going to coach with me. You're going to get the same results, but in a group setting. So one of the reasons I decided to do this was, one, my schedule is just bursting at the seams, and I can't only offer group coaching because I can only fit around 24 people in a year. And I have way more people who want this program. So I decided, what's the fastest, easiest way to get people the same level of results? Group coaching. I can put everybody into one group. It's collaboration, it's community, it's connection, and it's inclusivity. So I was thinking, how can I get people faster, better results and serve more people? And it's very clear that the Empowered Principal Collaborative is the solution, because there are people like you who want to not work in isolation. You're very isolated as a school leader. You want a community. You want somebody who knows how to talk like an empowered principal, who's not working in isolation. You're feeling supported. You understand the position and the problems that you face. People are curated in this group. I don't just let any principal in. You have to be curated through me. So you get layers of support. You get my coaching. You're going to get, I have group coaching mentors. I have guest coaches who come in. You're going to get coached by lots of people, not just me. You get a very safe space that's a trusted environment where you can talk, process situations and the emotions that are coming up for you in the job. So there's community you're going to build. So you do not have to be in isolation. You're going to find that the problems that you have, every other school leader faces. Because right now I'm coaching 24 people day after day after day, hour after hour after hour, and I'm coaching them on the same things. And they're just thinking that it's only them. No, there's a community of you who are going through the same thing. So this is a collaboration. It's like-minded people generating solutions together. More topics are covered, more solutions are created, faster transformations happen, more ideas are going to take place. And the creativity that's going to flow out of this group is going to give you the answers you need as fast as possible. You're going to create connections. You're going to make friends. I'm in a group coaching program, multiple group coaching programs. I love group coaching. I have had so many brand new friends, connections. I feel like I finally belong. I feel like there's people who are speaking my speak, talking my talk, getting coached, being coached, supporting each other, peer coaching, being included, feeling valued, feeling important and loved. I want that experience for you as a school leader. And finally, inclusivity. This is something I value very deeply. I wanted to make coaching available and affordable for more people. So for me to only coach one-on-one, I have to charge a higher price to make enough money to support the business. But with group coaching, it makes it more available and more affordable for more people. So you and your colleagues are going to receive the same level of support and coaching, and you're going to bring your colleagues along with you so that you can be understood as you evolve. So one of the things about the group coaching program is that I can help more people. And then in turn, you're going to meet more people and you're going to help more people and you're going to connect with more people. It's a triple win. You gain community, you gain collaboration from people who know what it's really like to be in school leadership. You're going to develop friendships and true connections with like-minded principals. And it's much more inclusive to more people. So here's why this works. Weekly coaching in a group that is safe. I'm very, very confident and very protective about you as a principal having safe space, because we talk about sensitive topics. There are sensitive things that we cover, talking about teachers, colleagues, students, parents, our bosses. You have to have a space that's confidential and safe for you to get to the heart of the matter. I'm very, very committed and convicted to that. This also allows you to have somebody in your corner every step of the way. You aren't alone in your leadership journey. You have someone who's going to process your difficulties with you. We're going to hold space for you and love on you when you've been through something difficult, and we're going to celebrate your wins. And coaching is going to allow you to anticipate all those obstacles we talked about. We're going to do that in advance so that you have time and space to handle the unexpected situations in real time. We're going to expedite your solution creation process. I'm going to help you through this program to stay aligned to your vision and your priorities, which means your goals are going to be achieved more quickly. And you're going to be the person who embodies the vision that you want to accomplish. So here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to handle new situations that you didn't expect. You're going to learn how to be a first-year leader and a 10-year veteran, okay? We're going to prioritize. I'm going to teach you how to prioritize and stay focused and stay tuned into that primary theory that you've developed. We're going to maximize your top resources. If there's anything I could teach school leaders, it's how to maximize their assets, your beautiful, smart brain, your time, your energy, your focus, your attention, and your financial and material and human resources, how to maximize and leverage them so that you can achieve what you want faster and easier, okay? We're going to create authentic connections in our group and empower other people, other principals, and also our colleagues, and build a collaborative culture. I'm going to teach you how to navigate difficult people and difficult conversations. We're going to talk about that in the group. I'm going to teach you how to hire people and coach them up, or how to fire them and coach them out. You've got to be able to attract and retain ideal teachers and staff for your school, the kind of people who are your people that you want to work with, that you want to hire, and that you want to cultivate and grow and evolve them, okay? Teach you how to get out of hustle mode. So we're going to create the level of balance that's right for you. But ultimately, what I want for you school leaders is sustainability. I want you to enjoy your life and have fun outside of school leadership as much as you're having fun in school leadership. And if you're not having fun in school leadership, we're going to bring the fun back. We've got to get you enjoying your life. Your vision needs to include fun, pleasure, joy, all of it, happiness. So this program is going to offer you, unlike any other mentorship program, because you're going to increase your accomplishment. We're going to meet every single week. It's going to help you stay on track. We're going to solve your problems in real time. You're going to stop procrastinating tasks and stop delaying decisions, which means you're going to get more accomplished in less time. Okay. We only are going to coach 1 hour a week. It's very easy to commit to it. There's no extra time required. We're going to cover everything you need in 60 minutes. It's going to be fast, easy, doable for every school leader. If your brain's like 60 minutes, I can't commit to 1 hour a week. That's the first thing we coach on. We've got to get your time back into your control so that you feel like you have control over your time and how you spend it. And that if you value coaching and you value being an empowered principal and getting support you need, that hour is going to be the most sacred hour of your week. Okay. This is a full immersion experience. I am going to record every group coaching session so that you can replay it and capture everything you need out of that group coaching session and get the full value out of it. Because sometimes, especially if you're the one being coached, you're thinking, I don't remember what they said, or I need to, what was that? Because you're not taking notes, you're getting coached. The replays are available so that you can go back and take notes, okay? And then I have dozens and dozens and dozens of resources that cover every single topic, solve every single problem, support you in every situation that you'll ever face along your journey. And trust me, if we come up to a situation where I don't have a tool or I don't have a resource and you need one, I will create it for you. That's how I serve here. I over-deliver 100%. I ensure your success. This is value-driven work. I'm very committed to walking you through your school vision and your school leadership legacy plan and your 3-month plan, your 90-day plan that I talked about, based on your values. You are never going to commit and follow through with something when it's not connected to what you value. You've got to feel connected to that purpose on a regular basis. So all of the work we do is value-driven, and I'm going to help you maximize your resources. I'm going to help you troubleshoot your calendar, find the best ways to leverage your time, your focus, your energy, because this is how we ensure that priorities are met and that fun's a regular part of your day and that your version of balance is achieved. I'm going to teach you how to create confident conversations. I help you prepare for difficult conversations. I think this is one of the hardest parts of school leadership. So I help you all stay grounded in how you want to feel and the results you want to create from that conversation so that you can show up calmly and confidently. And finally, my biggest wish for all of you is a calm and collected leadership experience. I don't want you to be running around feeling busy and overwhelmed and exhausted. The demands of this job are relentless. There's always going to be something. And this means that you have got to manage your thoughts about your job. Your real job is to manage your thoughts about the job. Learning this skill is going to help you in every single aspect of your life. Okay. So here's how it works. We are going to have weekly support to process as things happen in real time so you don't get off track. I'm going to create the schedule in advance. We're going to start August 2nd, and the program runs through May 29th. Okay. So it's on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you have something that's currently a conflict at that time, not to worry. We either are going to figure out your schedule so that it doesn't have to be a conflict, or you can watch the replays. Now, this is the most exciting part. When you sign up this first year, this is the inaugural year of the program, of the Empowered Principal Collaborative, I'm going to offer it for an introductory price for this 1 year only. After this year, the price will go up. So this is an annual coaching program. It's going to run from August, beginning of August to end of May. We're going to meet on Wednesday afternoons. And I'm going to offer it for a ridiculously cheap price because I want you to feel the value, to have the experience and get a full year of coaching to see the power of it. So I'm offering this one time as an introductory price for all of my principals. Now, for those of you who want one-on-one, I still have a very limited number of spots I'm going to offer into the next year. If you want that VIP experience, all you have to do is schedule a consult with me and let me know. I want the one-on-one VIP experience. And if I have space, it's yours. You will also get access to the group. If you decide you want one-on-one coaching, you can be a one-on-one client, but you'll get all the access to the group calls, okay? If you prefer to be in the group coaching experience only, you will have access to all of those replays. You'll still have access to all my tools. You're still going to get weekly coaching. But in addition to all of that, you're going to get the collaboration. You're going to get the connection with your colleagues. You're going to have that community that you need so desperately to not feel like you're the only one on the planet who's out there fighting the good fight, okay? So you're not going to struggle alone in silence. You're going to stay on track and maintain that perspective. You're going to value your work-life balance and your self-care, gain clarity and confidence. You're going to expedite your accomplishments through personal growth and development and by supporting one another. You're going to build this unique skill set that's going to excel your performance for the rest of your career. You become a one-of-a-kind principal. And this program is going to teach you how to create a luxurious amount of time for those desired results, okay? So here's how to get started with the Empowered Principal Collaborative. If you're a principal who wants support from a coach who's an expert in the industry, I've been doing this for a really long time. I'm an expert in school leadership and coaching you on school leadership and teaching you how to coach yourself and other people. If you want to maximize your impact, your legacy, and maximize your time efficiency, which is what we talked about today, creating this vision, now is the time to sign up. This program, I'm going to offer it for 1 year at the introductory price of $997 for the entire year. That's crazy. It's professional development. You can simply ask your school for professional development funding for the full year of coaching. I'm going to be offering a training on how to pitch your district for professional development funds. So all you have to do is write the check for $997, you sign up, and you're in for the entire year. That's it. Now, here's how you're going to do that. I want to curate this group. So what I ask of you is I'm going to send out an email link with a consult sign-up time. I want to talk to you. So I'm going to have you sign up for a 15-minute consult where I'm going to answer any questions that you have about the program. And I'm going to ask you a few questions about why you're a match and you're fit to be in this program. And on that call, we'll make a decision. If you want to continue this program and be in it, wonderful. I will send you a link. You can pay in full. That's it. You're signed up. You'll be a member of the Empowered Principal Collaborative for the entire school year. You're going to have somebody in your corner advocating for you, supporting you, loving on you for the entire school year at the introductory price of $997. So here are your next steps. Number one, you're going to receive an email from me with the link to sign up for your 15-minute call. We're going to get on that call. Write down your questions that you have now, get your finances in order because we're going to make that decision. We're going to commit on that phone call. It's going to be a yes or a no. You're in or you're not. That's fine. You can always listen to the podcast. But if you're in and you're ready to go, and you've talked it over with your spouse or your partner, You're going to pay that fee. I'm going to send you a PayPal link. You pay the fee, and then you're in. And when you act now, I'm going to send you all the resources that you need to get ahead and prepare for your upcoming school year in advance. So you're going to get the Life and Leadership Legacy Plan. You're going to get the 3-month plan. You're going to get all the tools that you need to prepare yourself and get ahead in your upcoming school leadership year. Okay. So I'm very excited to be offering this. Does anybody have questions? If so, you can put them in the Q&A and I will answer them for you. If not, I will dismiss class. So I'm just going to wait a second here to see if anybody has any Q&A. You have any questions about the vision plan? Do you have any questions about the process? Do you have any questions about coaching? Please let me know. But I'm so honored that all of you are here today to hear this announcement, to get the introductory price. You want to act on this now, because if the program fills up, you will have to be on the waiting list. So sooner is better to get on to the Empowered Principal Collaborative and to become a member of the Empowered Principal community. Okay. So will there be a maximum amount of people in the group coaching? Yes, I am planning to cap it and then put people on a waiting list. If I have so many people on the waiting list, I might expand into 2 groups. We're going to see where this goes. Okay. But I want to see where people are, how many people want to sign up, and I am going to adjust accordingly. But there will be a first come, first serve basis. And I'll be creating that depending on the demand. So right now I am going to cap it because I don't want to just let everybody in. I only want people to be in who are committed to being in this program. Okay. So again, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to be sending out the link. Look for it in your email box and sign up for that 15-minute call so that we can get your questions answered, a decision can be made, and we can move forward, and I can send you all the materials that you need. All right. Have an amazing night, you guys. I'll talk to you real soon. Take good care. Bye.